That might be someone that he knows. But this is obviously something LAPD does not want to happen. And now we've got some people that may know him. And now we want to watch the hands here. You want to watch if an exchange of any type of weapon happens, any type of evidence is exchanged. This is something that's always very concerning.
Okay, now getting out on the phone.
On a cell phone. Passengers staying in the vehicle.
Reaching his pocket, not a good idea.
Yep, this is where you're going to see sitting on the home. This is where you're going to see LAPD swoop in very quickly. We're going to stay tight till that happens. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Yeah, that was awesome.
This again, so cavalier about what they're doing, just kind of showing off that we're in charge.
Well, they're going to not be giving high fives when they're in jail, and their little 15 minutes of fame is over.
So, it's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, let's see what their buddies are.
It's important now to watch, guys. I hate to interrupt, but it's important now to watch what the suspect's wearing that's walking away. The dark gray shirt, black jeans, white shoes, because he's going to mix in with those other guys. And we want to make sure that they're going to take all these guys into custody. You can guarantee that, because. But we don't watch that guy on the sidewalk there, because he's going to mix in.
I'm sure his friends are going to try to get away from him.
You can see that he reached down into that bush area, that Italian cypress bush. I saw him reach into there.
Yep.
He's taking stuff out of his pockets. We're going to slide right so we can see that. Taking stuff out of his pockets. Now this could be him getting rid of evidence. You can see that handing off stuff to people in the front yard. That's the phone. Good thing to watch is the shoes, in case he tries a blue T-shirt, white writing on the front, blue jeans, white shirt. He's going back to the car, waiting for LAPD. He's going to swoop in here any second, which I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. But they're going to scoop up all those guys, and they want to make sure that everybody's taken into custody so we know who's who in this pursuit. The passenger wearing that aqua blue pullover, it looks like white shirt underneath it. I think they're content here just to wait for the officers. They know it's over. They're going to take him into custody, and maybe we'll pull out just a little bit, Tracy, to see if they're in the area or coming. My guess is they are very, very close. And you know what? I don't see them yet, so let's push back in. You can see a lot of people coming out. Now, this is a concern for LAPD. You've got a lot of people coming out, a lot of people that know these suspects. It could be a situation where they're watching it on television like everybody else is. Push back in, Tracy, as tight as you can. And they're probably getting enough resources. Then where
the guy saying where are they now?
But no, this is very intentional. Officers are putting a plan together. They don't want to go in there with 2 or 3 officers and be surrounded by an angry crowd trying to protect their friends here. They're going to make sure they've got enough officers that can tactically take the situation into control, calmly take them into custody, get a group around them, get enough officers to watch other people in the area to make sure they're not attacked from the rear. Because again, you've got to remember, this is where the suspects determined the pursuit was going to end. This is a friendly area. This is where they wanted this. So this is being dictated by the suspects where this ends. We don't know. This could be an ambush. This could be a lot of things that LAPD considers. Is there someone laying off with a weapon? Is there? So you want to make sure you've got enough tactical resources to come into the area and handle the situation safely, without endangering anybody's lives, including the people you see on the street and the officers' lives. That's a very, very dangerous situation here. They're just probably making sure they're getting enough resources and officers to come in and handle this. They're content to stand by and wait to be taken into custody. They know it's over. They know they've got a lot of eyes on them, high-fiving each other, which is not a celebratory thing. They're not going to be doing that in a few minutes, I can tell you that.
A very good point, because we saw that he was on the phone and then those people were waiting for them, so obviously they'd been in contact. So absolutely right about not knowing what the officers can expect when they get there.
And we still know that they're burglary suspects. Remember earlier on the freeway,
he immediately put it in his pocket. I don't know if it was money, maybe bail money, who knows. But he handed him something and he put it in his pocket. That's always a dangerous thing. Something for the officers to be aware of. That male on the sidewalk wearing that yellow sweatshirt handed that driver suspect something.
And it looks like he's on a different cell phone.
Oh, now somebody just got out of the... Oh, this is on the right-hand side, obviously, earlier. It's about 2:15 this afternoon, doing donuts. Part of the chase, one of the interesting, more unusual things he did during this pursuit, the donuts, and then also the waving to people and going up and down Hollywood Boulevard, Walk of Fame.
The showboating.
Exactly.
Just really showboating and having no care for anybody who's on the road, except for not getting into accidents, which considering it's a rainy day on
really
a Thursday,
lucky.
Been very lucky, and people, not everyone paying attention to what's going on. They had earbuds in their ears earlier. The kids getting out of school. Always let you know why you shouldn't wear those when you're just walking across the street.
Exactly. There you see. This is earlier on, and check this out. They try to get by here, and then you see them throw something on a TMZ tour bus that they probably think that that was part of the show and it's staged or something.
They have to. I mean, that just the whirlwind of what's going on around them.
Crazy, and the man standing
But
up.
look at how many people, JT, are now surrounding this.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
could
boy.
become a very confrontational situation, very
I
dangerous
can
for
tell you
officers.
that's the main concern right now. I mean, the officers are saying we don't want to go into a situation. You can see the driver has pulled the vehicle, is pulling it out of the street. We believe this is on 50th between Hooper and Central. We'll try to get that confirmed. 50th Street. This is in South Los Angeles, obviously the south end of Los Angeles here, and this is 50th, and this is LAPD Newt Division area. But yeah, there is, at least as I'm looking out the window.
The driver there is the one on the phone,
Very
and he constantly has his hand in his pocket.
Right. And let's take a look really quickly. We've been talking about this this chase through LA. We're going to be talking about some ABC 7 eyewitnesses took some video. We're turning that video around right now to show you their vantage point of the two suspects that were going through the Walk of Fame area in Hollywood. But again, there are
If they're actually in the county or in the city, but they've come in and they're the ones that are going to do the arrest. So we're going to tilt up just a little bit, Tracy, so you can see the passenger suspect, make sure that he's proned out. So LA County Sheriff's come in with a couple of units and taking them into custody. I'm sure they're going to put them in that vehicle. Yeah. Now it's important, Rob. Now this is that vehicle that's involved. That they don't just take these suspects and go. That's evidence right now. That car is going to be impounded, used in the burglary investigation, if that is indeed what they're taking them into custody for. But you can see they went with the program. LA County calmly put them into cuffs. Now the situation becomes a crowd management, crowd control situation. They want to make sure that it's more than likely they're going to take at least one unit, get the suspects out of here, get some more units in there, possibly the LAPD, and then start inventorying and impounding that suspect vehicle. But ideally, the idea is to get the suspects out of here, make sure they're get to an area where they can question them or get them to the station and go from there. They're searching them right there, double searching them, make sure there are no weapons before they go into the back of that black and white. And you can see we're going to move over and tilt up to the left to the sidewalk. And you can see at least 30, 40 people out here. Go ahead.
They did not do the normal sort of fanfare of walk backwards, get hands up on the ground. Do you think that they had some sort of inkling they could see? I mean, why such a different technique here?
Well, you got to consider background. When you're doing what's called a high-risk felony stop, your guns are drawn. They're felony suspects. In the normal situation, and this is far from normal, you would have your guns out, your guns drawn. But in a situation like this, you've got innocent civilians and residents just standing around. That becomes a problem with background. So it was clear they probably had a good intel, probably watching us on our broadcast, and know that these guys were content to give it up. And that's what use of force is. You try to take the suspects in custody, and you only use the force needed. In a normal situation where they have control of the area, where there's a good background, streets are blocked off, they're going to do a high-risk felony stop, which means you're going to draw down on those suspects at gunpoint, give them commands, have them clear, lay down, do all the stuff they would normally do. In this situation, this situation did not call for that. There's too many people around, and in fact, that may incite the people that are there. You don't want to draw your guns out. Yeah.
Right,
and
JT?
that's the situation. Suspects are in custody, and it all ended well.
Wonderful work by you and Air 7 HD, JT, and we're going to take you back to Fab Life right now, but this has been special coverage of this breaking news. We're going to have much more for you coming up in just a few minutes on Eyewitness.